Today, we have gathered here to celebrate our pre-Christmas, and we have been celebrating Christmas for around 2 millenniums now. But there might be still some who really don't know the origin of it. Therefore, now let us welcome Father PJ to let us know the origin of Christmas.
So, good morning everybody. So I am very happy to have Dr. Mansingh with us, a very knowledgeable person, as we have been hearing that he is a medical doctor, but you can ask him on any topic and he will be able to enlighten you on any of these. And he would have been a better person to give you the history of Christmas and speak about Christmas. Anyway, we know that Christmas is the celebration of the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem, and it started as a Christian festival, but now it's a global festival. It is a Christian festival, all right, but then it has become a global festival. A feast that is celebrated all over the world with great merriment and enthusiasm. It was not the first Christian festival. Early Christians celebrated Easter before they started celebrating Christmas. Easter was the main feast, and not only every year, every Sunday was a mini Easter. And that was called the Day of the Lord, because that was the day on which Jesus rose again from death. And Christmas began to be celebrated much later. And even then, it was not the birth of Jesus that was celebrated. It was the Epiphany that was celebrated. Epiphany, or manifestation, when Jesus showed himself to the three magi, the wise men from the east. And Christians celebrated this because Christians were not only Jews but also Greeks and other non-Jewish people had become Christians. And this Epiphany, Jesus showing himself to the three magi, Jesus showing himself at his baptism, the Father saying, yes, this is my well-beloved Son, and the miracle that Jesus worked at the marriage feast at Cana, changing water into wine, and by which the disciples believed in Jesus. These three events were celebrated together at Epiphany, and that was celebrated on January the 6th. And it was also the birth of Jesus. All these were celebrated together. It was only in the 4th century that they began to celebrate Christmas, the birth of Jesus. And we may ask why this 25th of December was selected. The Romans celebrated a feast in honor of Sol Invictus, the unconquerable sun. See, the sun is very bright, and this feast of the sun was celebrated around 21st, 22nd December, because that's the solstice, when the winter solstice, when the night is the longest and the day is the shortest, on 21st, 22nd December. So from there, the day begins to become longer and the night becomes slightly shorter. And so it is a feast in honor of the sun that was celebrated with the Romans, Sol Invictus, the unconquerable sun. The sun having a new birth, the sun becoming more powerful, good light becoming more powerful than darkness, good conquering evil. So that was the idea of this festivity. And they feasted with good food, with singing, with merrymaking. And the Christians thought of Christianizing this feast. And so they thought of Jesus the Son, the light of the world, and they found this an appropriate time to celebrate. And they decided on 25th of December because the day is becoming longer and night is becoming shorter. And so 25th was fixed upon as the day for Christmas. Now we are celebrating pre-Christmas, and we must also have a message for this Christmas. We can think of the Magi. Saint Matthew in his Gospel tells us that wise men, people who were experts in astrology, in medicine, and other very knowledgeable persons, wise men, they were in a way priests to kings and very closely associated with the kings. These people saw stars, strange star, new star, and they interpreted it as the birth of a great person. And so, with all their knowledge, they came to know that it was the birth of a king of the Jews. And so, three of them decided to go and pay their respects to him, offering gifts. But at the same time, there's a story told about a fourth Magi, a fourth wise man. And this wise man was from Persia, the present day Iran. He also saw this star, and he also wanted to go and pay his respects to this newborn king of the Jews. So he took with him three treasures: a sapphire, a ruby, and a pearl of great value. Three gifts to be offered to the newborn king. He started off wanting to join the other kings, the other wise men, going to Bethlehem. But on the way, he was delayed because he had to help a poor man who was dying. He spent his time looking after him, and then this made him delay. By the time he came to the starting point, from where they would be crossing the Syrian desert, he found that the other three had already gone, and he was late because he was delayed by helping that dying man. So what to do? He had to start by himself. The caravan had already reached, and he had only a horse. Horse was not enough to traverse the desert. So he had to sell his sapphire and buy camel, and then buy provisions for the journey. And so one treasure was gone, spent it that way. Then he did all that. He bought camel, bought provisions, and then started off to Bethlehem. By the time he reached Bethlehem, he discovered that Jesus had already been taken to Egypt because Herod wanted to kill Jesus. Jesus was said to be the king of the Jews, and Herod was frightened that this king would occupy his chair, his throne, and he would be deposed. So he wanted to kill Jesus. But then angel had told Joseph to take Mary and Jesus to Egypt, and so they had already gone, and so Herod decided to kill all the children there because they did not know where exactly the Jesus was born. They knew in Bethlehem, but which place? And so he ordered that all the children below 2 years of age must be killed. So when this fourth Magi, Artaban, that was his name, reached Bethlehem. These had already gone, and then he wanted to go to Egypt. But then here he had to save a child. The soldiers of Herod were going around killing, and the mother came pleading to Artaban to save a child, and he had to bribe the soldier with another of his precious stones. Ruby, he had to give a ruby and save this child, save the life of this child for the mother. And then he wanted to go to Egypt. He went there with only one treasure left behind. And then in search of Jesus, he spent 33 years searching for Jesus. Finally he reached Jerusalem. And there, it was just time of the crucifixion. Jesus was going to be crucified. Artaban had come to pay respect to the baby Jesus, but now he had missed because he had been doing one good or the other, and then he reached Jerusalem, and it was already late, too late. Jesus was going to be crucified. And in the meantime, he had to spend that last treasure in order to ransom one girl from being sold as a slave. This young girl was being sold as a slave, and then he had to pay that last treasure and in order to save this girl. He did that. And then as he was going to meet Jesus, a roof tile accidentally fell on his head. And as he was lying, almost dying, he seemed to have heard the voice of Jesus, someone, as long as you did it to the least of these my brothers, you did it to me. As long as you did it, that's what Jesus had said. As long as you did a good act to the least, you have done it to me. And he died with a serene face, with a bright and happy, peaceful death he had. And he met his treasures had been accepted, and he met his king when at the moment of his death. He met Jesus was there to receive him into paradise. It's a story which tells us it speaks about a wise man going in search of truth, going in search of God, and we have to be searching for truth. We have to be searching for God, and we may be asking, we may be wondering how shall we meet God? How shall we know the truth? We carry on doing our duties, doing good works, helping those in need, and then whether we are late or early, we shall meet one day this King for whom we have been searching all our life. And that is a message that we can take for Christmas. We may be wanting to offer gifts to baby Jesus, and because of one reason or the other, we may not be able to do that. But then as long as we have done some good deed to our neighbor, to those who are in need, we are giving our gifts to Jesus, and Jesus will accept these gifts of these good deeds of ours as deeds done to himself. And so while we celebrate this anticipated Christmas, every day should be a day seeking Jesus, just like the wise men offered their gifts, and this fourth wise man was able to meet his king at his death, because he had been doing good. Let's make sure that we do good all our life, and we shall be sure that this king will be meeting us because we have done good to him. So thank you for listening, and wish you a very happy Christmas and Bright New Year.
We are indeed so much grateful to our dear Father PJ Joseph for having told us the origin of Christmas. Even I have learned a few things from his message. Have you all learned new things?
Yes.
That's nice. I hope that we can all keep it in our minds.